Hello, how's everyone doing? I'm back in Portugal. As you can tell, I'm in my favorite forest. And today I figured I could give you a proper van tour because it's been a while since I built it and I haven't done a proper tour showing you all the different features. So today I'm going to do that, and I also want to talk a little bit about the cost of building a van like this, as well as all the things that I would do differently now that I've lived on it for a while. So I think we can start on the outside and then we'll go inside. Let's go. So this is a Mercedes Sprinter 416 CDI from 2002. I paid 4,500 euros for the van alone, which I think was an amazing deal. The van has been super reliable so far, and I haven't done much to the exterior besides getting a new paint job. I also swapped this door because the original door didn't have a window, so I bought an ambulance door and then swapped the doors. That was really easy, and it's nice to have some light coming from the side. I also put this here. This is my water inlet, so this is how I refill my water tank. And I also replaced all 7 tires, which was really expensive. I think I paid over 1,000 euros just to get them replaced, but these are really good. On the back, I obviously have my spare tire as well as this ladder. This is something I would like to change. I would probably put the spare tire under the van, and then I would have one of those nice aluminum boxes on the side so I could have some extra storage. And on this side, I would much rather have one of those nice bike racks so I could bring some bikes with me. But I'll probably just leave that for my next van. Let's go upstairs. Welcome to my rooftop. I have 300 watts of solar panels as well as a fan over there. They're all attached to this black aluminum structure that was custom built for this van. And then over here, I have this tiny deck that I rarely use. It's nice to see the sunset every now and then, but I barely come here. So I think if I was building the van now, I would just have extra solar panels. Maybe 500 watts would be nice. But yeah, this is the rooftop. So welcome to the inside of my van. We're going to start in the front and then we'll go to the back. And I want to talk electrical first because this right here is my electrical system. So this is my charging station. It's a bit messy, as you can see, but basically I put an AC outlet over there so I can charge all the batteries here. They stay out of the way. It's sort of organized. And yeah, I really like this. It's probably one of my favorite features of the whole build. Opposite to the drawer, this is my least favorite part of the whole build because I have no idea what's going on here. I hired an electrician to do this for me, so it's just electrical components connected together with loose cables. It kind of looks like a bomb. And the thing that concerns me the most is that I have no idea how this works. So if it fails on me, which spoiler alert, it did, I have no idea how to fix it. So that's why I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is Anker Solix, and it's a far better solution than this one. So this is the Anker Solix C1000. It's a 1000 watt-hour battery bank. It only weighs 26 pounds or 12 kilos, and it's what I recommend to anyone looking into building something from scratch. First of all, it looks and feels like a tank. The build quality is amazing, and it looks super clean. There are no loose cables. It doesn't take up that much space. I really love the design of this thing. It gives you 9 ports to charge from, or 11 if you're in the US. So that's 6 AC outlets that can output up to 2400 watts. So that means it can power things like a hairdryer, a kettle, or an AC unit. Then you also have 2 USB-A ports, 2 USB-C ports, and 1 car socket. So this pretty much covers all kinds of electronics. When it comes to charging, you can charge it with AC power, and it only takes 58 minutes to fully charge, which is really fast. It's 27% faster than the industry average. It also supports up to 600 watts of solar panels, which is literally double of what I have in my van, and it takes less than 2 hours to charge that way. Finally, you can simply plug it to the car socket and it charges while you're driving, which I think is my favorite way of charging it. The best part is that you can check everything through the app, which makes it super easy to use. You can check things like the battery status and how much energy it's outputting. So if you'd like to get one, make sure you grab the Black Friday deal to get huge savings on the Anker Solix C1000. The link is in the description. Again, thank you Anker Solix for sponsoring this video, and now let's continue the tour. Back to the front side of the van, I obviously put a swivel on the passenger seat so I can do this. I feel like everyone that has a van should have these. It opens up the space so much. And then I also put this mount here so I can have a table. I'll show you that in just a moment. And I also wanted to put a swivel on this side, but the handbrake was on the way, so it didn't work out. Up here is where I keep all my pillows and bed sheets during the day. I also have my table that I'm gonna show you. This is the table. Whoops. And you cannot see it from there. So this is what it looks like with the table. It's really comfortable. I love working from here. I also made some window covers for all these windows, so it gets nice and dark and I don't get those reflections on my screen. And yeah, it's really easy to get in and out. I also eat here. And yeah, this is my working station. So welcome to the kitchen. As you can see, it's a very spacious kitchen. It gives me so much space to cook. The countertop is over 2.5 meters long, which I think is one of the biggest countertops I've seen in a van. And it's actually very special because I built it myself with a bunch of old pallets. So this is basically a bunch of pine strips glued together, and then I put it through a big planer to make it smooth, and I'm really proud of it. It looks nice and it's a special piece. This is my sink. It's a very basic sink. As you can see, I put it under the counter because I wanted this minimal look when you put the cover. It blends very nicely with the countertop. And this thing also extends, so if I want to take a shower outside, it's possible. I think I've never done that. This is my spice rack that I built myself. I also have more spices here because I really like spices. Over here, we have a hidden outlet that I really like. I think it's a cool feature. There are 3 outlets and 2 USB-A ports. And I also want to explain why I don't have a stove here, because a lot of people do that. But basically in Portugal, it's kind of tricky because you have to pay extra fees if you want to have a stove in your car. So what I ended up doing was I bought a regular camping stove with 2 burners that I store under the counter. And whenever I want to cook, I just take it out or take it outside if the weather is nice. And I think that's the way to go because the countertop looks much cleaner without a stove. Up here is where I store all my food. So stuff like rice and beans, pasta, same thing over there. This is a fake plant. I know it's lame, but I killed all the real plants that I put here because there's not enough light coming in during the day. So I ended up buying a fake one. It's lame, but whatever. It looks nice. Under the plant, there's a special vase that my sister made for me. She has a pottery business. I can leave a link down below. But basically the color matches the outside color of the van, which is a nice touch. So thank you, sister. This is getting a bit difficult to film because it's really tight, but I want to show you the inside of the counter. So you have my trash can. This is the gas bottle for the stove. It's a 3 kilo one. It lasts me a month roughly. And then back here is the water tank. It's a 200 liter one which is really nice. A lot of people were concerned about the weight because it's on the right side of the van, so it would make it unstable to drive. But because I have double tires on the back, you can't really tell the difference. On this side, I usually store the stove, as I told you before. This is my cutting board that I bought in Morocco. Then this is the water pump, and back there is the water heater. It's a 10-liter one, and it seems like a lot, but it's not. It lasts like 2 or 3 minutes. So most of the time I don't use it. I just take a cold shower. It's much easier. Here we have the fridge. I put this latch because it was always opening itself while I was driving. And as you can see, it's a pretty average fridge. It's enough for like 5 days of food. Down here, I have some extra storage for things that I usually don't need. So candles, toilet paper, olive oil, they all go in there. And then I also want to talk about this floor because as you can see, there's a little gap here. And this was a big mistake I made. I went with vinyl planks instead of a vinyl roll that would cover the whole floor. And this thing is not good for vans because it expands a lot with the heat, and then things like this happen. So if you're thinking of building a van, don't go with the planks, get a roll, it's much better. Finally, these drawers are for cookingware. So this is forks and knives. This is pans and pots. It's a bit messy. And down here, I have my fancy Smeg blender that I never use, but it's nice to have. And that pretty much concludes the kitchen area. Moving on to the other side of the van, we have the bathroom. This is a really tiny bathroom. It's only 60 by 70 centimeters. It was the biggest shower base I could fit in this van. And all I have here is a chemical toilet that I barely use because I hate cleaning this thing. It's much better to go do your thing in nature. And then I have a shower that I use quite often. It's all waterproof because I put these fiberglass sheets on the walls. And yeah, this is the bathroom. Finally, this is the bedroom. That includes the bed itself that folds against the wall and this bench. This bench is nice, but the only problem is that the bed is not completely vertical because of the curvature of the van. So it's leaning towards this side, which is not very comfortable to sit on for long periods of time. But if you just want to have a quick meal, it's okay. This is where I store all my clothes. It's a bit empty now because I'm not traveling at the moment. This is where I store all my camping gear. It looks like a lot of space, but it's not because the wheels take up a lot of space. But yeah, I have sleeping bags, sleeping mattresses, chairs. There's a table down there. I have 2 tents in case I'm traveling with someone. And yeah, all things camping gear. Lastly, this is my safe box. I was not supposed to show you this, so please don't break into my van. This is where I leave my camera gear in case I want to leave some stuff behind. I usually take it with me, so it's not worth breaking into my van. And back here, I have some tools in case I need to repair something. And I also have a hose to refill the water tank. And that's pretty much it. Finally, let's talk about the bed. It's obviously one of the main features of this build because it's a Murphy bed. It is secured with these stainless steel buckles, which are very sturdy. It's not going anywhere while I'm driving. And if I want to open the bed, all I need to do is this. I need 2 hands. And this. It's that easy. The bed itself is 2 meters long by 120 wide. It's not huge, but it's more than enough for 2 people, especially if you want to cuddle. The mattress is 10 centimeters thick, which is also more than enough for a van. And I don't know if you can see that on camera, but this side of the bed is actually floating in the air. I had a rope that was securing this side to the ceiling, but I just realized it was not necessary. So this is just floating, and I think that's cool. What else? I have 2 shelves there for books. I have a reading light, which is nice when you want to read at night, obviously. And that pretty much concludes the van tour. Yay! So I guess you want to know how much this van cost me in the end. And the grand total was roughly 19,000 euros. This obviously includes the van itself, the paint job, the tires, all the wood. I could have gone much cheaper than that, but my goal with this build was not to make the cheapest possible van. I wanted to make something that I was proud of and that I would like to live in. And I'm very happy with the final result. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. I'm tired. I'm almost done, but I'm not done yet.